So hot, man. It's so hot. Oh my god. It's hot here, man. It's hot here, Jack. Man, it's hot. Yeah, man. No tattoos, man. I ain't the tattoo man. I think tattoos is it was a fad, man. Everybody was doing it. It was just like, nah. Yeah, man. Salute, guys. We we live on we live on 3 channels tonight, man. We on Ock Nation TV. We on Ock Nation TV. All the links in the description box too. We on Ock Nation TV. We on Rumble and we on Ock Nation Gold. Shout out to product of Cook County, man. He says Harold's Chicken, Weed, and Ock Nation. It's gonna be a good night. Salute to product of Cook County, man. Yeah, man. My shirt is soaking wet, man. My shirt is wet, man. It's hot here, man. My shirt is soaking wet, and I don't have AC right now because we was supposed to put the AC in today in the window, with that damn Canadian smoke, man. That Canadian smoke ain't no joke, man. Shout out to IRS, man, coming through like the IRS. All the time. Shout out to David Thomas, man, coming through, man. Shout out to you, David Thomas. FU says watching from VA Beach. VA Beach, home of some of the finest women in the world, man. Y'all got some fine women down there. Yeah. Salute to everybody in the building, man. If you want to watch on Ock Nation TV, Ock Nation Gold. Links in the description box, man. Ock Nation TV, Ock Nation Gold, Rumble, wherever you're watching. Salute to you. Mm. Jimmy Iovine says, shirtless Ock from the basement, YouTube. Won't be a great show. Yeah, give me a city, man. This a new channel, man. Some people might, because remember, this is not Ock Nation. This is not Ock Nation news. I'm laying low from Ock Nation news for a while, man. This is Ock Nation TV. If you're watching, on YouTube on Ock Nation TV or Ock Nation Gold, we're not live on Ock Nation News tonight. Some of you guys may have been mods on the other channel. You got to remind me so I can mod you up over here. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get started, man. Why not, man? Let's go ahead and get started, man. Why not? Um, give me a city, man. Let's start it off right. Give me a city, chat. We gonna have to do Paris on Rumble, man. We gonna have to do Paris on Rumble. Yeah, Baton Rouge, man. Let's go to the Rouge, man. See what's going on down there in Baton Rouge, man. Uh, uh, oh, they hype because they won the championship. They're hype because they won the baseball championship down there at LSU. They win. I got a nephew who goes to LSU right now. Good kid, man. Mm.
Hours after a shooting at this Sam's Club off Segan Lane, the suspect, not too hard to track down. He came back to work at the scene of the crime. 20-year-old Donald Brooks is now charged with attempted murder. Katie Easter in the newsroom tonight with more on this crazy story. Hours after a shooting at this Sam's Club off Segan Lane, the suspect, not too hard to track down. He came back to work at the scene of the crime. 20-year-old Donald Brooks is now charged with attempted murder. Katie Easter in the newsroom tonight with more on this crazy story.
Why the Sam's Club employee came back to work today after he apparently waited in the parking lot last night to shoot his coworker is only one of several questions that we all have. Our cameras were recording as Donald Brooks was arrested and put into a police car shortly after clocking in at the Sam's Club off of Segan Lane.
Hey, listen, man. I used to go to work. I remember one time. This was like 2007, I want to say. I was working at Home Depot. And I was still, selling weed and whatnot, and moving my shit, right? And the cops raided my apartment, man. They raided my apartment. And they locked up, and I got away. Long story short, I got away. I slipped past them and shit. And my boys got arrested. And it was a warrant out for my arrest. And I still went to work every day. And they came up there looking for me at my job, and I'd be in the break room and shit. Tell them I ain't here. Listen, man. Some man different, man. We different, man. We used to confusion and chaos, man. We operate better. We operate well in chaos, man. Chaos, man. We operate well in it.
Employee came back to work today after he apparently waited in the parking lot last night to shoot his coworker is only one of several questions that we all have. Our cameras were recording as Donald Brooks was arrested and put into a police car shortly after clocking in at the Sam's Club off of Segan Lane early Wednesday morning. His coworkers called the police on him.
We can't explain his psyche for him showing up at work, but what we can explain to you is that our officers did show up. He was taken into custody. He was brought here to the Violent Crimes Unit where he was interviewed, and he's now being booked into East Baton Rouge Parish Prison.
This is video of that police response Tuesday night after a Sam's Club employee was shot multiple times. Police say Brooks waited outside in the parking lot behind a car. Once that coworker came out, Brooks started shooting at him.
He was not on scene during the course of the investigation last night and this morning. They were able to develop him as the person seen in the video during the shooting because there was surveillance that they obtained.
I asked Brooks as he was escorted off to jail, "What'd your coworker do to you? Why'd you go back to work today?" But he had no response. He was still wearing his reflective employee vest.
This is a unique case. Not often do we see our suspects or persons of interest return back to the same spot where the crime actually took place. But we were there. We received the information and we showed up.
His coworker now recovering from multiple gunshot injuries. His condition was not clear Wednesday evening. The question, what happened between Brooks and the unidentified employee? Police say they are still actually waiting for that answer. I did reach out to Walmart, and all they could tell me is that they're working with law enforcement.
Oh, so Walmart owns Sam's Price Club. Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know Walmart owns Sam's Price Club. I wonder who owns Costco's. I'm a Costco guy. I prefer Costco's. But, Sam's Price Club, whatever, man. I'm a Costco's guy, man. But it depends on what town you're in. Some towns they have Sam's, some towns they got Costco's. So it depends on what town you're in. Wow. That's amazing, man. You talk about having too much money. Like, at that point, you're just collecting money, man. You're not even, you can possibly spend it all. Just competing with other billionaires, I guess. That's where you get, because money can't make you happy at that point.
Ugly things that happened to this baby that I wouldn't want to see go on with nobody's child.
Tonight, we're getting an update on the sweet little 2-year-old who suffered horrific injuries after police say his babysitter nearly beat him to death back in December. Thanks for joining us. I'm Elizabeth Vowell. Greg is out on assignment. This case is hard to forget. Tashawn Brumfield was in the hospital for months. It would be easier to list what wasn't broken in his body. Lester Dewey got an update from his family today. Lester, what's the latest here?
Elizabeth, while the person police say is responsible is facing a cruelty charge, little Tyshawn's family says he was left.
That's it? That's it?
Lester, what's the latest here?
Elizabeth, while the person police say is responsible is facing a cruelty charge, little Tyshawn's family says he was left paralyzed and blind, and his life will never be the same.
Paralyzed and blind, and she's facing a cruelty charge. Paralyzed and blind. If I could rule, oh my God, I would be the sunshine in her universe, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. If I could rule the world, I would be the sunshine in her universe, man. She would think my love was really something good, baby. If I could change the world, if I could change the world, I would be the sunlight in your universe. You would hate what I would do to you. Salute to my man, Eric S. coming through once again. Eric S. was there the whole time during the when we was over on Rumble during the suspension, man. Shout out to Eric S. for showing up every day during the suspension, man. Salute to Benedict. Benedict coming through. KFX Ox AC Fund, man. Yeah, man. Salute. Paralyzed and blind. And she's charged with cruelty. And she's probably out on bond.
His body, Lester Dewey, got an update from his family today. Lester, what's the latest here?
Elizabeth, while the person police say is responsible is facing a cruelty charge, little Tyshawn's family says he was left paralyzed and blind, and his life will never be the same. This is the new reality for 2-year-old Tyshawn Broomfield and his grandmother Sheila, as the pair was coming home from an appointment at the eye doctor this afternoon.
And this is Kentwood water. I put the water in here. This is how he eats.
Little Tyshawn is now paralyzed, blind, nonverbal, suffers from severe brain damage, and much more after something just awful happened to him back in December.
The arrest report connected to this case says the child suffered internal bleeding, has swelling in his head. That started last week. Baton police arrested the boy's babysitter.
Oh, man. Second-degree cruelty. What do you got to do to get first-degree cruelty? What do you got to do to get first-degree cruelty? Press 1. What you got to do to get first-degree cruelty to a juvenile? Because paralyzed, blind, nonverbal. He beat the kid so the kid can't talk, see, or move. And he still made sure he looked hard in the mugshot. He still wants you to know he hard. Shout out to Marcy in building. Nah, man, it's too hot for a wife beater, man. It's hot, Jack. Look at that, man.
The child suffered internal bleeding, has swelling in his head. That started last week. Baton police arrested the boy's babysitter, Howard Youngblood.
Get it where there are no lumps in it.
Tyshawn was finally released from the hospital in late March after multiple surgeries and rehab sessions. Taking care of his many needs is now a round-the-clock job for Sheila and his father. For example, his medicine and food has to be fed through tubes in his body.
This is Tyshawn's life. This is what he have to go through. A baby who was once joyous and happy.
Sheila says it's overwhelming sometimes.
But for me, I describe it as a time of showing somebody love that need it. And it's a time of selflessly giving Tyshawn all of me, because that's what he needs right now.
Shout out to this woman, man. Shout out to this woman, man. I wonder, do they have a GoFundMe? Think about all the GoFundMes you give to. Some bitch gets, some fucking whore gets cut off in traffic by a fucking white person. And she starts to GoFundMe. Some bitch ass nigga gets he overhears some white person says, "You people," and he starts to GoFundMe. And they get fucking $10,000-$15,000 into this shit. I wonder if these people got to GoFundMe, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. I wonder if these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go fund me, man. 'Cause these people got to go f
Sometimes.
But for me, I describe it as a time of showing somebody love that needed. And it's a time of selflessly giving Tyshawn all of me because that's what he needs right now.
She doesn't know how someone could do such a thing to a toddler who was once full of energy and had his entire life ahead of him.
But this baby was a healthy baby. This baby was running, jumping, climbing, smiling, reaching for you, wanting somebody to pick him up, eating up your food, you know, eating popsicles. He was being a baby. And he went from being a healthy baby and he's crippled.
While doctors have told the family that it's highly unlikely little Tyshawn will ever walk or see again, Sheila is holding on to her faith that a miracle will indeed happen. She's also making sure Tyshawn is not alone in this fight.
Their specialty is being a doctor, you know, because they have the primary care doctors, they have the neuro doctors, the heart doctors, the orthopedic doctors. That's their specialty. I am not going to go against, but see, I talk to the doctor above all doctors. And then his name is Dr. Jesus. And I believe that Jesus can fix it.
And Lester, my mom.
Wow. Salute to this grandmother, man. My God, man. Whew.
Name is Dr. Jesus. And I believe that Jesus can fix it.
And Lester, my mama's heart just breaks for that family. What's next for them?
Yeah, so the grandmother says that he's got more surgeries on his skull in the future. Meanwhile, they're hopeful to get a new ramp to roll him into the house a little bit easier and maybe some sort of new vehicle to take him to those doctor's appointments. He's got a lot of those as he's bound to that wheelchair at this time, but just heartbreaking.
It is. That grandma's got some faith, though, and I'm sure she would appreciate some prayers tonight. Thank you for that update. We appreciate it.
Where the GoFundMe at? No GoFundMe, man? Damn, that video only got 63 views, man. That video only got 63 views. Hopefully we can get them some more exposure, man. Shout out to Nate Ways, man. He says, I was in a good mood. Now I want to 86 that prayer. Salute, little man. God bless you. God bless you, man. Yeah, man. That one fucked me up, man. Golly, man, that fucked me up. Salute to you, Luigi. Luigi coming through, man. God, oh, man. Yeah, man. I hope we can get them some more exposure, man. They need to GoFundMe. If anybody need to GoFundMe, they need to GoFundMe, man. Let me put that in here, man. Let me put that in here, man. Oh, man. Jeez. Lord. Whew.
And today about the U.S. Supreme Court ruling to do away with affirmative action for college admissions. Let's get over to our Capitol correspondent, Chris Rosado, who has reaction from some of our local school leaders and leaders. Chris.
Yeah, well, essentially, Liz, this means whether they like it or not, universities will no longer have a choice but to find other ways to make their student bodies more diverse.
This morning, the U.S. Supreme Court overturned admissions plans at Harvard and the University of North Carolina. The High Court ruling that race can no longer be a factor in deciding which students get into college. It's a decision that now impacts schools all across the country and is sparking debate here at home.
When you have a situation, when you look at the most recent appointees that have been appointed by a Republican president with a conservative view. And so this is very consistent with that view.
Chancellor of the Southern University Law Center, Jean-Pierre, says he's not surprised by the ruling given the conservative majority makeup of the Supreme Court, and that this is something he and his colleagues actually anticipated.
And as far as Southern University Law Center is concerned, We are a great institution that has always been a diverse institution.
Y'all are HBCU. Y'all ain't diverse. Y'all inverse, reverse, whatever the fuck. Y'all historically only take black kids, man. So y'all gonna be fine, man. Them black kids come there and get a Southern law degree and can't take that shit nowhere, man. That Southern law degree is like the equivalent of a goddamn piece of toilet paper stuck to the bottom of your shoe, man.
Have never discriminated against anyone based upon race.
Chancellor Pierre had a similar take on the court's decision as the one we got from Democrat Congressman Troy Carter, who in a statement today called the ruling disgraceful.
Race cannot be used to hurt a person, and race cannot be used to help a person.
But Republican U.S. Senator John Kennedy, in a one-on-one interview with us today, says affirmative action has encouraged universities to look at students by their skin color over their abilities and achievements.
You can't look at racial identity and assume that all white people are racist, that all black people are victims, that all women are oppressed. You don't look at group identity or racial identity or gender identity. You look at the individual.
Now, Chancellor Pierre says Southern does expect their applications to increase after this ruling. Liz?
Chris Rosado.
Yeah, man, go down to Southern. Get a bunch of black kids to come down there. And the fucked up thing about those HBCUs is those black kids go down there and they get their degrees and they go on to their lives and their careers, and they don't give shit back to the universities. The endowments for those HBCUs are abysmal. The endowments for those HBCUs are abysmal. There's fucking high schools that have better endowments than HBCUs. Give me another city, man. Shout out to Barry B, man. He says, Nation TV live Saturday, 7/1/2023. My man said Manchester, New Hampshire. Y'all want to see some white people, man. Y'all want to see white people, man. How they living, man. I'm tired of seeing these sun words, man. Oh.
The Rainbow Family is a loose-knit group of people from across the world. Each summer, they hold a national gathering where they pray for world peace. This year, they chose the White Mountains as...
See, that's fucked up because you would automatically assume with the rainbow that these were some fucking goddamn fucking weirdos and shit. You would think these were some fucking weirdos because they got the rainbow. But really, they probably been doing this for decades, even before the goddamn mafia stole the rainbow. Because I remember a time before the mafia stole the rainbow, man. When rainbows were just rainbows, man. A rainbow was just a fucking rainbow. Yeah, Frosted Lucky Charms. Which one? Which was the one, the cereal with the rainbow on it? Remember Reading Rainbow? Press one if you remember Reading Rainbow. Reading Rainbow and shit, man. And fucking cereal with rainbows on it. They fucking took that shit. Now every time you see somebody with a fucking rainbow, first thing you think is they're a fucking weirdo.
The Rainbow Family is a loose-knit group of people from across the world. Each summer, they hold a national gathering where they pray for world peace. This year, they chose the White Mountains as their spot.
This is an unauthorized group use that's occurring on the White Mountain National Forest.
Hillary Markin with the White Mountain National Forest says about 1,300 people are already there and they're expecting a little over 1,000 more to come up for the 4th of July.
We've been encountering several instances of damage to natural resources. We have encountered drugs coming into the gathering that our officers have been on site to deal with, and as well as infrastructure that's being built.
Littleton police reports dozens of people are facing violations. Markin says there was about 70 court cases on the docket addressed by the U.S. Attorney's Office. Still, she says many in the group have been helpful in the past.
They do have members of the Rainbow family that typically stay on site to help rehabilitate the land and the impacts from this gathering. We're hopeful that that will happen again this year.
They usually have people that stay on site and clean up. Let me translate that for y'all. They clean up after themselves and don't just leave the fucking trash that they fucking accumulate out there.
Have been helpful in the past.
They do have members of the Rainbow family that typically stay on site to help rehabilitate the land and the impacts from this gathering. We're hopeful that that will happen again this year.
Markin says most people are expected to leave the area after the 4th.
This morning, 2 people are facing charges after New Hampton police say they were found in possession of a stolen car in the Kelly Drake Conservation Area. One of the suspects, Jason Fournier, was also allegedly found with suspected meth and fentanyl. Police say while he was in the cruiser, he forced his way through the partition and then took off into the woods. The chief says he was found in a nearby lake trying to swim away while still handcuffed.
Hey, man, shout out, man. He repping New Hampshire well, man. Hey, man, salute, man. Salute to him, man. I ain't even mad at him, man. We need some action up New Hampshire, man. Thanks for making this this trip to New Hampshire a little bit more exciting for us, man. Salute to you, bro.
In the Kelly Drake Conservation Area. One of the suspects, Jason Fournier, was also allegedly found with suspected meth and fentanyl. Police say while he was in the cruiser, he forced his way through the partition and then took off into the woods. The chief says he was found in a nearby lake trying to swim away while still handcuffed. He and the woman he was with, Nicole Horn, were already on probation.
Hold on, Nicole Horn, man.
In bed. Looked like they couldn't.
This morning, 2 people are facing charges.
Let me see Nicole Horn, man. Ew. I'd have jumped into a lake with handcuffs on too, man. Shit. Fuck. I ain't gonna lie, man. That's enough to make you jump into a lake with handcuffs on. Jesus Christ. Shit. What's up with her hairline too, man? Ew. Damn, Jason. You could have did better than that, Jason, man.
Salem police have arrested a man suspected of injuring a woman in a road rage incident. Police say 50-year-old Anthony Agnew of Salem was driving his truck when he got into a confrontation with a woman in another car. The two pulled into a parking lot where police say he grabbed her and started driving and dragging her along. Agnew faces multiple charges, including assault, reckless conduct, and disorderly conduct.
Hey, man. Listen, man. It's up in New Hampshire, man. It's up. is up, yo?
Monica, really such a scary situation. And she said it all happened here in her backyard. This all happened around 11:30 a.m. this morning. 64-year-old Lynn Kelly said she ran out to check on the dog who was barking, and that's when she saw the bear. She said she tried to look big and yell and scare the bear, but it didn't work. He kept coming toward her, so she punched him and he bit her. She started bleeding right away, so she ran back in the house and called 911. It took about 45 minutes for police and fire to get here, and she was taken to Memorial Hospital in
45 minutes for police and fire to get there, man. Shout out to the fucking glider queen punching the fucking bear in the face, man. I'd have been running. Shout out to Abe the Hunter, man. He says, "What if that is?" Man, said, "What if that's brown sugar, man? Leave brown sugar alone, man. Y'all here, y'all terrible. Brown sugar, that's not brown sugar. That would have been fucking white sugar, man. Sugar."
right away, so she ran back in the house and called 911. It took about 45 minutes for police and fire to get here, and she was taken to Memorial Hospital in North Conway, where she was treated for 4 puncture wounds. Wildlife officials in Maine also told us these attacks are incredibly rare, and they've only heard of a handful in the last few decades. They also say they haven't seen the bear since the attack, and they've set up 2 traps to try and capture it. And again, we have a full interview with Lynn that we'll share later tonight. We're live in Porter, Maine. Ariel Metropolis, WMUR.
Wow. She got attacked by a bear, man. She lucky, man. Perhaps give me another city, man. Give me another city, man. See this clown right here.
Court documents say the driver allegedly involved in a deadly hit and run knew he hit someone but waited through the weekend to tell police. News 9 Investigates obtained the probable cause statement for an arrest warrant in the death of Kimberly Lucier. She was hit and killed in Rochester on the night of June 2nd, a Friday night. That warrant says Christopher Robinson hit Lucier while she was walking on Milton Road, but then panicked and drove home. The document says Robinson called his father on Monday asking for an attorney so he could turn himself in. Robinson is charged with conduct after an accident.
Conduct after an accident? What the fuck is that?
Court document.
Some man would never did that, man. That glider turned himself in, man. The fuck? Yeah, salute to Paul, man. He said, look at the destruction sons doing in Paris. We covered Paris extensively last week, man. We gonna get to Paris, man. Don't you worry, man. We gonna get to Paris, man. Don't you worry about a thing. Don't you worry about a thing. Give me another city, man. The man said Des Moines. That's like a mix, man. That they got some sons out there now, Jack. But it's a lot of gliders out there, man.
Members of the Lower Beaver Neighborhood Association is calling for Des Moines City Council member Indira Shoemaker to resign. In a letter to Shoemaker, the president of the association, Jeremy Gerds, wrote about Ward 1's concerns, saying in part, regretfully, we are compelled to conclude that you are unable to fill that need. Over the last several weeks, Local 5 has reached out to council member Shoemaker.
Why you think that she think that they ask? Why you think she think that they asking her to resign, man? Anybody, man? Why you think she think they asking her to resign? Yeah, Lower Beaver, man. Whew. Good God Almighty. Lower Beaver. Shit. She the leader. She over there. Lower Beaver. What's up, Marcy, man? Why they asking this? Why they asking this mulatto to leave, man?
I said in the chat, she probably shaved.
She probably shaved. Oh, shit, man.
Saying in part, regretfully, we are compelled to conclude that you are unable to fill that need. Over the last several weeks, Local 5 has reached out to council member Shoemaker multiple times, but she has not responded.
Look at her little. Let's see what her little thing say, man.
Respond.
She has nice hair.
Yeah, I guess so. Says she is our Ward 1 City Council representative. Indira Shoemaker is not showing up to give voice to our neighborhoods. She continues to collect a paycheck and health insurance, but does not answer calls from our city manager or staff, let alone calls from fellow council members or her constituents. What employer would continue to pay someone for not working and not answering the boss call? Aren't we her boss? Our taxes are paying her salary, and we have no voice because she isn't showing up. Damn.
So she's not as busy as a beaver.
No, she's not as busy as the beaver, man. Nah, man. Shit, man. They want her out, man. Whew. When these sisters get the positions, man, it's a 50-50 with them, man. It's like, what the fuck, how it's gonna turn out, man. You never can tell. C'est la vie.
Well, there are over 440 golf courses in Iowa, and that's approximately one for every 7,000 people. Every single course is different from the next, including Diamond Trail Golf Club. Jake Brand has the story.
Linville, Iowa. Population 383. It's classic small town Iowa. One bank, one gas station, one ball field, 2 churches. The restaurants are only open on the weekends, and one 9-hole golf course.
It's not your standard small town golf course that's just fairways back and forth, right adjacent to one another, and you can pretty much play from wherever. This course is set up a lot.
These little towns like that, 300 people, it would only take one Sun sister to come ruin that shit. They'll have the population to absorb like 10 of them. What's going on, Fabian?
Hey, how's it going? What's up, Fabian?
Man.
Hello.
these people better. They shouldn't make videos about their town, man. They should stay off the radar, man. Don't be drawing attention to themselves, man.
Yeah, spots get blown up in all kinds of ways.
More difficult than what you're used to seeing.
It's got a lot of character to it, and that's kind of what we hear from golfers that golf at first time too. Yeah, there's a lot of good holes out there. We got the timber areas. We've got a pond. We've got hills. We've got the creek running down through there, and the covered bridge, the windmill down there.
Diamond Trail is such a fitting name because this course is truly a diamond in the rough, and they've maintained the status as one of Iowa's best kept secrets with just 2 full-time groundskeepers and a lot of help from a proud community.
From the beginning, it was that way. When we started moving dirt out here, we had people come in with their scrapers and their tractors, and from day one, it's been volunteer help.
The board lets it be known, well, on this day we're going to do it, and people show up. And
salute to those gliders in that small town, man. Salute to them, man. Keep doing what y'all do, man. Nice, close-knit community, man. Let's see what else is going on down here in goddamn Des Moines. Des Moines is quiet, my G. It's usually like, it ain't fucking Memphis, but they get busy down there, man. Salute to them for Des Moines. Okay.
Police are now investigating after multiple people reported rocks or cement thrown at their cars in downtown Des Moines, leaving.
That sound like you. That sound like your team, Fabian. Throwing rocks in cars.
Rocks and cement. Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about Des Moines. Yeah, I mean, who lives in Des Moines? I don't know about Des Moines.
It's mostly gliders, but they have a strong Sun population, man.
Right.
Remember Beat Whitey Night?
No, is that
You
Iowa?
don't remember Beat Whitey? Yeah, Beat Whitey Night at the Iowa State Fair.
Oh my
God. They have this other thing called Beat Whitey Night.
Behind some substantial damage. Local 5's Dana Searles is here to tell us how this problem quickly snowballed. Dana.
Stephanie, one woman I spoke with said when her own car was hit, it was so loud that she thought it was a gunshot. She took her story to social media and found that she's not the only target. A scary situation when Jacqueline Fruchty was just driving home from the park with her kids in the back.
My car was hit and I thought it was a gunshot, so I just kept driving and trying to find a safe place to be. It was just really scary, and I had my kids in the back, and I was like, are my kids okay? You know, they were shot.
Turns out a rock was thrown at her car, damaging it.
Because I had my windows were open, so it could have hit me, and Dad could have hurt me really badly, or could have lost control of the car and hit another car or hit a person that was walking by. So even though it was just like a dent in my car, it could have hit me and hurt me or other people, you know.
She says the incident didn't just leave a mark on Fruchty's car, but also her kids' mental well-being.
My 4-year-old was very scared, and he's actually a little traumatized by it because he cannot stop talking about it. And they could have hit mommy, and he just like talks about it with everyone he sees.
And Fruchty isn't the only one who has had this happen. After posting on the Nextdoor app, multiple people recounted the same story from the same location on Grand Avenue. Another victim says when their car was hit, they had pieces of glass stuck in their neck and eyelid. Yeah, these incidents happened last week, both around 8 p.m., and police are still investigating, saying they are looking for 2 people of interest, ages 10 to 14. Stephanie?
Yeah, that's a very immature crime. I think that's gliders.
Well, it could be because glider kids are capable of a degree of audacious mischief and disregard like that. But I mean, the elements of the behavior is a bit sunny, you know, just the level of disregard of traumatizing people.
Well, no, but here's the thing. That type of crime, like dropping like fucking boulders over overpasses and shit and throwing rocks at people's cars, from what I've done over the last 7 years, man, doing these stories, that's a glider crime, man. Okay. Sons are playing with guns, man. It's not even it's not even like, you know what I'm saying? That's by that time That's just lame shit.
There's
Let's
no
see.
people throwing rocks in rap videos.
Right, exactly.
You'd be slinging rocks.
To her constituents,
Exactly. This sister done got herself in a whole lot of trouble down here, man.
Indira Shoemaker seems to have vanished. They can't contact her and say she hasn't been to a council meeting in months. Now they want her to resign. And
Nothing.
that's what people in Ward 1 have heard from their council person for months.
We tried phone, email, social media, all different types of avenues, and she did not respond.
I, Indira Shoemaker.
When Indira Shoemaker first took office, people noticed her passion,
She was a firecracker.
making her silence even more baffling.
When she shows up, she is very articulate, very gifted, has great ideas, and is welcome at the table.
Now, the Lower Beaver neighborhood is ready to move on to someone else. A statement on their website is calling for her to resign.
When she missed Monday's meeting, we decided it's time to act.
The neighborhood president says the easiest way to get a new representative is for Shoemaker to step down.
Why do you think she thinks she's getting asked to resign, Fabian?
She's half-ro. I mean, you know, it's ingrained, you know, that people are going to use regardless of what they actually think. They're gonna use that, you know, as leverage to be like, oh, these people are racist. But have they given the ostensible reason? I haven't heard it.
Well, she doesn't show up for anything.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, that's, you know, that's a glider supremacist principle anyway, expecting people to show up. You know, I mean,
Hey, Bobby, why do these sisters always find themselves in trouble in these positions, man? Like, it's always trouble.
They always seems to be in all sorts of strange dramas, like baby daddies, fighting in a salon. My sister, you know, my daughter just got stabbed in church, and some craziness, man. Some nonsense.
Yeah, but it's uncanny how the sister politicos, the sister politicians, they like have such a high rate of either being arrested, fired, doing something, stealing money,
doing drugs.
It's always twerking on the handstand. It's always something with them.
To step down. The other routes are much more complicated and will require legal action.
It's really up to the Ward 1 residents to move forward. There's not really a clear path as described to me anyway.
The statement gave Shoemaker a deadline, July 17th. That way, a special election can be organized to replace her. But even if she doesn't resign, the community is determined to get her out.
I have to recognize that I and my neighbors need somebody on the city council that we can talk to if we need something done. And right now, we don't have it.
I tried to contact.
What are gliders thinking? So at one point, she showed up at this glider neighborhood, Lower Beaver, wherever the fuck it is, with her mulatto ass and said, I want to be your leader. And those gliders was like, cool, you can be our leader.
They're progressive. They're thinking like, oh my God, and finally we can be like, you know, we can say that we accept everyone. We've brought a black, you know, a Sun woman, a Latino, and all that stuff. That's what's going in their mind.
Well, and also the other side of that coin is that if they say no, they'll feel guilty. They're not sufficiently playing the role.
Right.
Yeah.
So they don't feel that even if they had an inclination to say no, they don't feel they're allowed to.
But do you know how sad you have to be as a politician? Because most politicians don't show up for work anyway, or they show up half drunk. For you to get kicked out for not showing up for work as a politician in a country called America.
Look at the demographics of this place, Lower Beaver. 5,000 people. It has 56.4% white, 31.2% Asian, and 6.2% Sun. So that's a lot of fucking tigers voted for this woman, man. And we're hearing that tigers don't like black people because they voted against they forced the Supreme Court to end affirmative action. Somebody got to mute themselves, man. But yeah, it's like, wow, a lot of tigers voted for this woman, man. And then she no come to work. She no come to work. She no do nothing. It's bad. It is so bad that she no come to work. Tell you tigers, man, y'all wake up, man. Try everything I say to the gliders, man. Y'all gotta take that to yourselves, man. Give me another city, man.
Man, let's go to New York, man. Let's go to the Bronx, man. BX.
BX.
The X, man.
Yeah, the Bronx been hot lately since it's been summertime.
Or Harlem.
I mean, let me see, man.
Hey.
Oh.
Good evening, Richard. That little girl is in stable condition at the hospital, according to the NYPD. This is the area where police were called after the child was shot at a different location. The news is a lot to accept, even for complete strangers.
So sad. It's sad. It breaks my heart. My granddaughter is 5.
The NYPD says a call for help just after 7 p.m. yesterday brought them here to East 213th Street and White Plains Road, where they found a 5-year-old who was shot in the back.
It was already cordoned off. There was cops everywhere, and it was just like complete mayhem. Everybody's trying to figure out what happened.
Witnesses say the girl was with her father and she was inside a vehicle in front of a home just about a 2-minute drive away from where police were called after she was shot. The home on East 214th near Holland Avenue was where a memorial was underway. That memorial, you see balloons left over today, was reportedly for a young man who was shot dead on Thursday. Signs asking...
Don't get caught slipping at the memorials, man.
Yeah, these people live like
savages.
Yeah, exactly.
Savages.
The public for help freshly posted in the neighborhood with a police presence this afternoon. It's unclear if the child and her dad were driving by or attending that memorial, but witnesses say
Yeah, that looks like Jamaica, Queens. They got a lot of houses where you have the parking inside.
It's like in the Bronx, you'll find like maybe like half a block you see little homes, and next thing you know, buildings everywhere.
Attending that memorial, but witnesses say shots were fired and the child was hit by a bullet as she was sitting in her car seat, according to police.
I live upstairs.
And detectives came to talk to you?
Yes.
What did they say?
They asked me if I had any information.
The father reportedly drove the short distance to East 213th and White Plains Road looking for help as he was gripping his daughter, according to witnesses.
To hear the people talking about how he was screaming when he took the child out, it was crushing.
The child was taken to Montefiore Medical Center in a police vehicle, where the NYPD confirms she is in stable condition.
That's good.
The NYPD looking for who pulled the trigger. No arrests yet. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers.
The odds of them finding who pulled that trigger is like so small, man. It's just some random shot went off in fucking the Bronx somewhere. Yeah.
They was looking for the father. He was up there in the memorial. They caught him slipping.
Oh, you think so?
They can't see the kid sitting in the car. They just shot at the car. Since the kid is dead.
Think so? Maybe. Whoa.
Charges are now dropped against Jordan Williams. That's the man who had been charged with fatally stabbing a fellow passenger on a J train earlier this month.
Now, Brooklyn grand jury declined to indict, determining he acted in self-defense. Fox 5's Briella Tomasetti joins us now with the very latest. Good morning, Briella.
You can defend yourself against a homeless person on the train.
The Sun Man set free, but the glider is still in prison. The one who choked.
Yeah, I think he's out on bond though. But yeah, he's got a long court battle up against him, man. Yeah, it's interesting, man. The Sun Man just no charges.
The DA's the brother.
And Tashani, bottom line, Jordan Williams has said this is a decision he will regret every single day for the rest of his life. Jason Goldman, who represents Williams, said it's never a joyous occasion when a life is lost, but Jordan and his loved ones are grateful and relieved that the grand jury saw this for exactly what it was.
Honestly, I was afraid.
1 week after Jordan Williams and his lawyer Jason Goldman spoke with us exclusively on Good Day New York, a grand jury has dropped all charges against him. Williams, just 20 years old, was accused of fatally stabbing a homeless man on a J train earlier this month and subsequently charged with manslaughter. Williams testified before the grand jury for about 45 minutes, saying that he acted in self-defense after the victim, Victor Udrago, punched his girlfriend in the face. Video filmed by another passenger.
Oh, yeah, all he did was punch his girlfriend in the face. I mean, he could have called the police, waited and called the police, or he could have de-escalated the situation in another manner. He didn't have to stab the guy. What do you guys think about that? You're on the train, a guy's acting crazy. He picks you out as the one he's going to, like, focus on, and he punches your girl in the face.
Anything goes for him, man. I might throw him in the tracks, all types of crazy.
He's like, that's a free body.
I'm just going so crazy, man.
He had to be dealt with.
Yeah, he was looking for a free body.
It's over.
Friend in the face. Video filmed by another passenger and shown to the grand jury reportedly corroborated that.
All I wanted to do was just get me and my girlfriend off the train safely.
The Brooklyn DA's office released this statement, reading in part that its investigation, quote, included review of multiple videos and interviews with all available witnesses, and that evidence was fairly presented to a grand jury. The dismissal of the charges against Jordan Williams came hours after Daniel Penny faced a judge in Lower Manhattan. The 24-year-old Marine veteran was formally arraigned in connection with the chokehold death of Jordan.
This guy right here doesn't listen. If this guy's not holding his arm, maybe he can. You got one guy holding his arm.
I know, right?
Where these guys at, man? They somewhere shaking in their boots, or they just chilling like.
That story's kind of strange, bro. Because whenever the feds is doing like some kind of something, they all wearing book bags, man. And on that train station, everybody's wearing book bag. Him, that dude next to him. That's crazy.
Yeah, but where these guys? Where are these guys? Like, are they like? It's just like when this goes to trial, and this guy's on facing 20 years in prison. Like, everybody just has to act like they don't see this fucking big ass head on this arm, and this other big head on this other arm.
Nah, they only see that white man holding that black man with his neck.
I just don't believe that they'll make it through this trial. Like, hey, even if I was a juror, you ain't even supposed to speak. If I was a juror, I'd raise my hand. Hey, what about that other guy right there, man? Like, I mean, like, what the fuck? Like, they're bending over backwards to screw this white dude, man.
Well, Alvin Bragg is the DA, man, in New York, man.
Yeah, and he's in Harlem, Manhattan. The other case happened in Brooklyn, but it's still America. You know what I'm saying? It's still the same country, the same city. It's just, hey, my God, man.
In Lower Manhattan. The 24-year-old Marine veteran was formally arraigned in connection with the chokehold death of Jordan Neely on an F train last month. He pleaded not guilty to charges of criminally negligent homicide and second-degree manslaughter after being indicted by a grand jury. Penny's lawyer maintains that their client acted to protect himself and others after Neely began threatening and harassing passengers.
Daniel Penny entered a plea of not guilty with great confidence that a jury of his peers will ultimately agree by rendering a verdict of not guilty on all counts after trial.
And all the evidence that we've seen so far and all the evidence we expect to see shows that that Danny acted reasonably under very difficult circumstances.
Neely, a former Michael Jackson impersonator who was homeless at the time of the fatal encounter and who also had a history of mental illness, was unarmed when pinned to the ground and placed in a chokehold. Attorneys for the Neely family have questioned that if Penny's goal was to subdue Jordan, then why keep him in that chokehold for 3 minutes?
Daniel Penny killed the man.
So now it's 3 minutes. Before it was 15 minutes.
Did you hear? I mean, listen to that stream of descriptive verbiage that was just dropped by a news broadcaster as if it's just information. You know, it's like, oh, he was unarmed. Oh, he was a Michael Jackson impersonator. Oh, you know, this and he was homeless. It's like, it's such brazen neuro-linguistic programming. And it's like, she could have said a bunch of other shit and none of that. And it would have been a lot more useful information. Like, he had a long record of like criminally terrorizing people.
Which he was doing at the moment he was restrained.
I don't know.
Yeah, he had a felony warrant. And if the cops if he had survived and the cops had come, if he had survived, he'd gone to jail for the felony warrant.
That Danny acted reasonably under very difficult circumstances.
Neely, a former Michael Jackson impersonator who was homeless at the time of the fatal encounter and who also had a history of mental illness, was unarmed when pinned to the ground and placed in a chokehold. Attorneys for the Neely family have questioned that if Penny's goal was to subdue Jordan, then why keep him in that chokehold for 3 minutes?
Daniel Penny killed the man. He took a life, even a legal defense fund. Even interviews that took place weeks before this happened can't make justice look the other way.
Okay, and there are obviously some similarities and differences between the two cases. Both Penny and Williams claim self-defense. Williams testified before the grand jury and Penny did not. If convicted on both counts, Penny faces up to 19 years in prison. He'll remain out on bond and is due back in court on October 25th.
Los Angeles.
Black folks got it good out here, man.
I'm telling you, man.
For now. But the tables will turn, that's for sure. Just like it did in 1992 when the crime bill came, it's going to turn.
You think so?
Of course, man.
It was the last day of school. Some students at a Bronx school won't soon forget some of the biggest names in music and sports dropped by for a visit.
And they did not come empty-handed. Sports retail giant Fanatics pitched in with some sweet swag, and it was all for a good cause. Lisa Evers has the details.
Hundreds of students from the Frederick Douglass Academy were joined by students from the Eagle Academy for a last day of school unlike any other. Merch Madness giveaways of hats, shirts, and bags thanks to Fanatics CEO Michael Rubin, who enlisted A-list athletes and entertainers to give out the merch.
Wow.
Definitely shout out to New York, and I'm actually going to be in a few states today, so I'll be in like 3-4 different states doing the same thing, and it's always great for me to give a chance to give back to the kids.
Harlem was just one of the locations across the country where the Fanatics giveaways took place, handing out about $20 million of merch to more than 100,000 children.
$20 million of merch to 100,000 children.
The Juice Crew got power. They can drag Baby and them dudes and come and make them pull up.
Look at this. This is Donovan Mitchell. He's a star.
Yeah.
And this is I don't all these people got Eli Manning.
Donovan.
Yeah, they got listen, they got Meek Mill.
Meek Mills.
I know this is some white chick for basketball player, some shit like that. Yeah, Eli Manning.
Eli Manning is in Harlem. You know the Juice Crew's behind that.
What?
Taylor Rooks. This is Taylor Rooks. She's a celebrity like sports analyst or something. The Baby. Yeah, this is impressive, man. Hey, listen, and all this is going to Suns. All this shit is going to Suns.
back to the kids.
Harlem was just one of the locations across the country where the Fanatics giveaways took place, handing out about $20 million of merch to more than 100,000 children.
Well, I actually got family members that go here, so it's just like a full circle moment for me. And it's always good to hang out in the neighborhood.
For motivational purpose only right here, for all the kids that did well in school. Even if you did well trying to do good, we're here for you today.
New York Giants Super Bowl champion Eli Manning and NBA Cavaliers star Donovan Mitchell handed out the goods to the delighted students.
It's a special day being here with Fanatics for their Merch Madness, and just to see the smiles on the kids' faces as they walk through the line. Got some great merchandise.
It means the world. You know, obviously we're giving back apparel, giving back gear, but to be able to give our time, to show face at school, I think that's what really, means the most.
The students loved it.
To be able to see these people in person is really great, to really be able to look up to them.
This was one of 200 locations around the country that Fanatics organized to give away merchandise in underserved communities. And for the kids, it's a day.
Underserved? These motherfuckers ain't underserved. Everything's free.
They serving well, man.
Listen, when everything's free, it doesn't matter if you're poor. Everything's free. Everything, the train, these motherfuckers hop the turnstile. Motherfucking food stamps, fucking Section 8. Goddamn, the only thing they fucked up is affirmative action, but they can still go to HBCU shit.
Police are looking for the suspects in connection to an assault on a subway in Brooklyn. It happened around 3:30 Monday morning on a Queens-bound A train. The train was
That's the All-Star Queens. The All-Star Queens crew.
Woo! Shit.
Shaquiqui, Jermaine, Latishqui, all of them.
You see them coming, man. It's trouble, man.
Yeah, right, boy.
Trouble is not far behind, man.
That's like a shoplifting army right there.
It looked like they paid, though. They walking through the turnstile. It looked like they might have. Is it free yet?
No, it's not free yet.
Okay. Well, then these sisters, shout out to them for paying, though. Look, man.
3:30 Monday morning on a Queens-bound A train. The train was approaching the Franklin Avenue station when a 27-year-old woman was approached by 4 suspects. Police say the suspects then punched the victim and stabbed her in the head and shoulder. She was taken to an area hospital in stable condition. But if you have any information or recognize the people on your screen, call.
That wasn't nice.
They look like the next crew for Set It Off.
Yeah, it wasn't nice to stab her in the head and shoulders. Yeah. Shit, man. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, so they're looking for a new police commissioner, man. Let's see if a white guy can get it.
Well, the city's top cop getting ready to step down on Friday, and still no replacement's been named.
But the Adams administration says they have some candidates in mind. Linda Schmidt takes a look at the names swirling around the job of NYPD Commissioner. Linda.
Yeah, hi there, Steve and Natasha. Well, first of all, speculation by insiders and others is focused on 4 names right now. 2 are currently with the NYPD. 1 is retired from the NYPD but working for the city. And the 4th is the current sanitation commissioner.
The latest person rumored to be under consideration for NYPD commissioner is City Sanitation Commissioner Jessica Tisch.
Oh,
She's
Jesus Christ.
Yo, there's a wild rumor going around in New York, right? Like the black female that was the police chief before that just resigned. They said they offer her some wild sex, some sexapade, like some crazy sex stuff. And she was like, I'm a married woman. I can't do that. And she just left quietly. But it says it involves her and Mayor Adams.
Yeah, please with the goddamn conspiracies, man. You fucking you hit me with a 2-piece already, man. Please, man.
Current sanitation commissioner.
The latest person rumored to be under consideration for NYPD commissioner is City Sanitation Commissioner Jessica Tisch. She spent about 10 years as the NYPD's Deputy Commissioner of Information Technology under Mayor de Blasio. However, she was not a police officer who came up through the ranks.
Having never done it really doesn't.
She's not a fucking police officer. They're trying to make her, she looks like fucking which one was Bill and which one was Ted? The one that was the blonde one. She looked like him, man, from fucking Bill and Ted. Whatever one that was. I think that was Ted, right? Yo, she looks she looked like Val Kilmer. She looked like an ugly Val Kilmer, yo.
She's like Garth from Wayne's World, man.
Yeah, she's just a fucking
That bitch needs to hit a tanning room or something.
Yo, she needs to fit a goddamn plastic surgeon, man. I'm not for plastic surgery, but yo, if she was my friend, I would get her a gift card to the fucking plastic surgeon, man. And I'd fucking like, I would be like, she'd be like, I'd be like, babe, look.
She feels very secure in her body. She's not really wearing makeup. You know, she's on a different level.
Look, let's cut the crap, man. We've been friends for a while, man. Let's stop this shit, man.
She spent about 10 years as the NYPD's Deputy Commissioner of Information Technology under Mayor de Blasio. However, she was not a police officer who came up through the ranks.
Having never done it really doesn't give you the credibility that you would need to lead a department the size of the NYPD.
Jillian Snyder retired from the NYPD in 2020 after serving 14 years with the department. She says Tish is an unlikely replacement for Commissioner Keyshawn Sewell because she was never.
She looks a bit like Gary Busey.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, she could pass. She could pass for Gary Busey. I can see myself like being like, hey, Gary, what's up, Gary? How you doing, man? She'd be like, what? Gary, man, what's up, man? How you doing, man? Long time no see, man. Oh, my bad.
Never a cop.
I think you really need that in order to not only understand the job itself, to be able to relate to the officers in your department, but more importantly, to understand all of what that job as an officer entails.
Why are we even talking about this shit, man? What the fuck? Why do we even have to explain that? This is obvious. This statement this woman made is super obvious, man. This woman's never been a cop. You can't be the police chief in New York City if you've never been a fucking cop.
Never a cop.
I think you really need that in order to not only understand the job itself, to be able to relate to the officers in your department, but more importantly, to understand all of what that job as an officer entails.
And one thing that got lost in the affirmative action, the biggest benefiters, the people who benefit the most, and I'm talking about percentages, total numbers, the people who benefited the most from affirmative action on the low were white women, because white women are also part of diversity because they're not white men. A lot of people forget that white women are part of the affirmative action thing, and they benefited heavily from it.
Other names being discussed are Chief of Department Jeffrey Madry, the city's Deputy Mayor for Public Safety Phil Banks, who is retired from the NYPD, and NYPD First Deputy Commissioner Edward Caban, who many believe.
Man, give it to the goddamn Mobrito, man. Tired of these goddamn suburbs and these glider queens, man. Let the Mobrito run it, man.
Is the likely choice. Caban is the second highest ranking member of the NYPD and has been on the job for more than 30 years.
Yeah, he's been on the job for 30 years, man. Sold, man. Give it to him, man. We can't give it to this Biggie Smalls looking motherfucker right here, man. He looked like he could be a police chief on a TV show, though. He looked like the fucking not a central casting for some kind of fucking sitcom, drama, TV drama or some shit. But I don't know if I would put him in real life, man. God damn, yeah, just give it to the fucking Umbrito, man. And let's move along, man. Let's be done with this shit, man. Fuck. Shit, man. Oh, fuck it. My goddamn mouse acting up and shit. God damn it, man. There we go. All right. Let me see something. Yeah, man. I'm on Brito. On Brito. I'm going with the on Brito, man. Fuck these sun words, man. You just had a sun word, son sister. She quit.
Chief of Department
do think in order to be an expeditious transition and smooth for purposes of the department, I think he would be probably the best bet.
A smooth transition is critical as the city heads into the summer months.
With that, historically, we've seen increased crime rates, increased shootings, increased homicides.
Promoting from within tends to inspire the rank and file.
Knowing it's someone who did their job is really morale boosting. And seeing the issues with recruitment and retention of the NYPD right now, I think it would inspire a little hope.
And if he is...
Oh. It's just mind-boggling that you have to explain that to them. It's insane, man. Jesus Christ. So the black kids got what? $200 billion worth of clothes. Let's see what these white kids get.
A huge surprise for this group of young Boston musicians and their families today when superstar Ed Sheeran crashed their recital. Sheeran walked into the Boston Music Project event singing, surprising the group at the Tobin Community Center in Mission Hill. He performed his hit songs, including Eyes Closed, with the children. And if that wasn't enough of a surprise, Sheeran invited them all to Gillette Stadium for his Mathematics Tour concert Saturday night.
Is that Joey Fatone, man? That fucking Joey Fatone. Hey, but look, man, no free stuff, man. Why don't gliders give away free stuff, man, when they come visit little glider kids, man?
Gliders are excellent at producing surplus.
Yeah, man. Free stuff, man.
Well, Jen, you can see the broken pieces of fence here in the front yard, tire marks near the bushes where Councilor Kendra Lara's car came to a stop after hitting this house. That crash sending her son to the hospital. And Boston police say she was driving on a revoked license. Investigators say Lara slammed into the Jamaica Plain home on Center Street Friday afternoon. According to the police report, she told officers she swerved to avoid hitting another car. The driver...
It ain't got nothing to do with the fact that your license was already revoked. I wonder what her license was revoked for. I don't think they're going to get into that.
To avoid hitting another car. The driver told investigators he was barely moving when he says Lara sped by, crashing into the house. Neighbors say it's disappointing to see a city councilor involved in a wreck like this.
That's an accident waiting to happen, as they say. I don't know anything about that, and I'm very sorry to hear that because I like our council people. And a revoked license, yeah, that's not setting a good example.
Police say Lara's son needed stitches at the hospital. Investigators say he wasn't in a booster seat when he should have been in DCF.
Worst stewards of children. I was a fucking kid that in the booster seat. You're driving with a revoked license with your kid in the car. He's not in the booster seat. And I'm sure this is racism. I'm sure she's going to say that they pulled her, they fucking with her because she's black and yada, 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 yada. Worst stewards of children, man. Worst stewards of children, man. And listen, man, look, there's a lot of them that are good stewards. I'm talking about overall. The same way how if it's a shooting in your town, you know it's a goddamn son, man. Worst stewards of children.
Setting a good example.
Police say Lara's son needed stitches at the hospital. Investigators say he wasn't in a booster seat when he should have been in DCF was contacted. According to Boston police, Lara was driving on a revoked license. The car she was driving was unregistered, uninsured, and had an expired inspection sticker. Now we
She thugging, man. Listen, that's how my homies used to ride, man. That's how like, you know, you get a car from the auction, you just ride it on the paper tags. If the paper tags expire, you just slice it up and fucking switch the numbers of fucking.
Do you get the inspection stickers in DC?
Yeah, hell yeah, you got inspections. Then you
Oh,
got to put it in the fucking windshield.
Yeah, we have to do that every year.
Nah, you can get it. It lasts maybe 2 or 3 years in DC, but it's right there. Like it's right there, and it's like a hologram and shit. So it's like you can see that shit in the fucking fog.
In Boston, you got to get it every single year.
Shit, crazy. You're in Boston.
Yes.
Okay.
reached out to the mayor's office for any kind of comment. They referred us to Boston police. Lara is set to be summoned to court on the charges connected to this crash. Live in JP, Emily Maha, WCB.
Yeah, man, she had the hat trick. Only thing she needed was just to be riding on a spare, man. She fucking had no insurance, no fucking tag. The fuck? You're the fucking city councilwoman. Your kid's not in the booster seat, and he gets injured in the crash. Yo, this is like not even just the trifecta. This is like literally like 10 things. You're driving with your kid not in the booster seat. He then gets injured. That's 2. The car you say you swerved to get out of the way from, he said he ain't know what the fuck he was talking about. He was stationary. So you lied about the accident. Your kid's not in the booster seat. He ends up getting hurt in the crash. You don't have license, registration, tags, nothing.
The only crime she committed was driving while black.
Right. Jesus.
Which is, I mean, that's basically a description, though. I mean, those two are the same. When they talk about like, well, we're just living our lives, you know, they're just trying to stop us from living our lives. It's like, yeah, living your life means menacing society.
Shout out to Deluxe 247, aka Calrican, aka the real MVP. Came through every day while we was on suspension on Rumble, man. Salute to everybody watching on Rumble right now. We're going to come over to Rumble in a little bit because we got to check out Paris, but we can't check out Paris on YouTube. Make sure y'all take the $5 challenge either on Rumble, either on YouTube. Take the $5 challenge. I'm going to let the guys hold it down for a minute while I get some water.
Boston is as corrupt as you can get, but very liberal. I mean, liberal to the most, but it's a controlling liberal, not just like, it's not a wild liberal like Portland. It's a controlling liberals. Like the liberals in Massachusetts, they actually believe that you're retarded and they can guide you through life. While as the liberals in Portland is just wild. Boston has its laws. There's laws.
Both of those suck.
Yeah. But as far as for affirmative actions, I never understood why do you need affirmative action? If you want to go to Harvard, just take some nice courses and transfer it out and then turn over in the fall. You're in.
Well, the idea behind affirmative action, like for colleges, was that it was believed that certain, I guess like whites had an advantage because they weren't held back by any institutional racism. So in order to remedy that, there was affirmative action policies made to kind of help minorities get a jump start.
But minorities always had that. I mean, not even minorities, even whites that were not bright enough to go, say, like to Northeastern, St. John's University and stuff like that. You go back to the 90s. I got into school. I went to this thing called CAP program.
No doubt. I mean, that was just the thinking behind it.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be, they could probably come up with a more sinister reason as to why there was affirmative action programs. You get mediocre applicants going through the college system, that leads to greater problems down the road.
But I remember years ago, before affirmative actions became prominent as it is today, that there were a lot of people that were getting into these universities that shouldn't have gotten in, and they were white, and they had like, or they were alumni. If you was an alumni from this university, that university, and say your son was doing bad, you can always kind of like talk to someone in admissions, and they'll find a way to get them in. But that happened, and not too much, but it did happen years ago.
It would suck to find out I got hired simply because of the fill a quota. I would like to think that I got a job because of my skill set.
Yeah. You sure don't want to work for a corporation and you're looking around, you're looking and people are wondering, this guy's only here because he's black. That's horrible.
Yeah. I've never been to Boston. But yeah, I've heard that about that. It's like there's a movie, Edge of Darkness, and it's like one of the taglines from the film is everything's illegal in Massachusetts, and I figured, but Boston would be far worse.
Yeah, it's a small town, but now it's been invaded by illegal migrants. They're everywhere. It used to be like a town, like straight up a town. Like the college kids would come seasonally and they would leave and it just go back to being a small town. It's like you knew all the police officers and you knew where everybody was. Now it's not the same no more. It's just, I think we had like 25,000 illegal migrants pull up in the city, and they wilding out.
When they get out there.
In the
When did
past
they get out there?
in the past 4 or 5 years, they started coming slowly. You started seeing more towards the Orange Lines, Roxbury, and then now they're moving towards Dorchester, Mattapan. It's
Since
just a
Biden
lot,
became
on
president.
Britos. On Britos are in the house, bruh.
So since Biden become president.
No, even before. Yeah. Well, I would say under Clinton is when East Boston started becoming a lot of Central South Americans. And then in around 2005, a lot of these Caribbean hombritos, they started migrating into Boston heavy. And Boston declared itself a gateway city. And it's been downhill ever since.
Caribbean hombritos, like Cubans, you mean?
Dominicans.
Okay.
Dominicans.
What's up, man? Goddamn Boone Sequel, City Councilwoman Boone Sequel. Man.
Did you read out this super chat?
Which one?
The one on the screen.
It says, this woman has an intimate video with a BPS teacher and her child present. How do you know that, Georgia Swamp? Send that to me, man. I can't just take that as face value, man.
Hey, I didn't read my last super chat.
I didn't? It says, the rainbow now has Dookie and bottoms. Yeah, man.
That's not even to mention the smell, man.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah, that's a shout out to Salty Cracker. He tells those jokes real so much.
Wow, Jesus Christ! Shout out to Salty Cracker, man. Yeah, man. Shit, I gotta Georgia, send that to me now, man. If you got that, we'll put it in the back chat, man. She's got a what?
I wonder if it's worse than that senator from Rhode Island when it was twerking.
Yeah, I think that would be worse than that, man.
She's from the Johnson family. It's just that family of criminals.
She's from the what?
It's like in Rhode Island, there's like 2 or 3 Sun families that they've been committing crimes for years after years after years. Like whenever there's a serious crimes, it's one of them.
Wow. Kendra Lara. Shit. This one right here. This chick, you said this chick got a sex tape with a fucking. I'm not seeing too much about this anywhere, but I'm not seeing nothing about that. But I wouldn't put it past. I just want to see it. I just want to. I just can't go with it unless I see it, man. That's yikes. Yeah, that'd be crazy. Let's see, police. What else is going on up here, man? What else is going on up here? Yeah, let's see.
5 tonight, Brockton police are investigating this rowdy crowd of people who crashed a U-Haul van into an abandoned Kmart. John Atwater live in Brockton with what a wild scene, John.
Sure was, Erica. And just behind us, you can see some of the damage here to the front of this old Kmart. The doors boarded up tonight. And this is not the only overnight incident here in Brockton that police are investigating. Video on Snapchat shows a crowd of young people swarming a U-Haul as it barrels through the front door of a shuttered Kmart store. At one point, some climb on top and start jumping on the van.
I'm really shocked. We shouldn't tolerate stuff like that.
Police say the U-Haul was stolen, and by the time officers arrived to check out the alarm they triggered just after midnight, everyone was gone.
It was definitely planned. Looks planned. I feel repulsed. That's just bad.
These are not on Britos.
Just a few minutes away at the nearby Campello MBTA lot, there's evidence of another disturbance overnight. Investigators say a group riding ATVs and motorbikes were racing in the lot, and now transit officers are stationed there to discourage future meetups.
That's just dumb. I feel like that's just sad. It's dumb. Like you got nothing else to do with your life. That's sad.
Police are now investigating whether the two incidents are connected, as the brazen behavior leaves others in the community frustrated.
It definitely made the city look crazy after a lot of people are putting in a lot of work to make it look better and to do better. But I mean, kids are kids.
And police tonight still looking for the people.
Kids are kids, really?
These are not Hombritos, they're Africans.
They look a little light skinned to me. What are these, like North Africans?
Cape Verde, that island off of
Africa.
Cape
Verde. Yeah.
That's them.
Yeah, they are fucking goddamn mulatto Africans and shit.
Mulatto son man.
Yeah, they cause a lot of trouble up there, man. If you go to the gun memorial,
they shoot a lot. They kill their families. They do it all.
Gun memorial in Rhode Island is like all Cape Verdeans, man.
That's them. Brockton is their stronghold. So is Fall River and New Brockton and New Bedford.
Oh wow. What's up, Georgia? Oh, she might have put it in the back chat. Let me see. Oh, she put it in the back chat for me. Let's see this. My God.
Holy shit.
My Lord.
Yeah, that's a Rumble video.
Oh, really? Is it showing?
I mean to say that's something we I think we discussed. It might have to be on Rumble.
Oh, but is it showing anything? I don't want to. Oh, sex video with her child present while naked, waist down.
She has a history.
She posted it. She posted it. She posted it. Is she still a city councilwoman? Yo, and they talk about like they present it like as if I chew gum during a meeting, I'm out of here. Or if I show up 2 minutes late one time, they're gonna get rid of me. That's how they got gliders thinking. Like the typical glider thinks that like some people walk on eggshells like that. Not you, Fabian.
Yeah, but I mean, part of it too is like this kind of thing. They're kind of pushing it incrementally to where it's not to your detriment anymore, to the detriment of your character. It's to your credit. It's like Black Girl Magic. It's brave and audacious and stunning and blah blah. You know, it's expressive and And if anybody has anything to say about it, well, you're just a hater, or you're jealous, or you're racist, or etc.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm just saying the audacity is being incentivized. You can obviously overstep the bounds, but in general,
I like the way things were in the past, man. I don't like this new shit, man. This shit is, I don't know, man. Things weren't so bad after all back in the day. She posted it. That's the crazy part with her child in there. She posted it. Then now, when did this happen? What day? This happened January 3rd of this year. That's when that article's from. She's having a rough year, man. Both incidents including her child, involving her child. That's just bizarre, man. You do a sex tape online, you posted your kids in there while you're naked from the waist down. You're driving around with nothing. You're driving around off the grid. You fucking hop the curb and drive into someone's house. Your kid's not in the fucking seat. All in 1 year? God, man. She's a thug, man. I didn't even know. I called her a thug before I even knew about that, man. Shit. Kids will be kids. Give me another city, man.
LA. You're muted.
Let me see what the chat says.
She's traumatizing that little kid.
Yeah, she's bizarre, man. Somebody said, all right, we'll do Los Angeles, man. Los Angeles. Make sure you take the $5 challenge, either PayPal, Cash App, Super Chat. Oh man.
Elsewhere, employees at a local wine store in Venice say they were the victims of a heist. A suspect reportedly stole $500,000 in wine from Lincoln Winery. That's in the 700 block of Lincoln Boulevard. The burglary happened around 1 a.m. on Friday. And surveillance video from behind the store, it shows a white truck drive past several times. A masked suspect then climbs up to the roof. Employees say the thief cut a hole and dropped down from the ceiling to get to all that alcohol.
$500,000 worth of rare wines in a pickup truck? Shit.
Sounds like an burrito.
Yeah. That pickup truck was a dead giveaway. And then let's see them scaling.
Several times. A masked suspect then climbs up to the roof. Employees.
Pants pulled up on the waist. Some man shit would have been sagged. Man, some man scale Mount Everest with his pants sagging. Some man a fucking ain't nothing we do without our pants sagging, man. Shit, man. Yeah, they're definitely on burrito, man.
They say the thief cut a hole and.
Wow. stole them people's shit, man. The people mad. You know they mad as shit when they came in here. $500,000 worth of wine gone. Shit. Are you a wine connoisseur, Fabian? Do you like a
No.
Chardonnay?
No, I don't know much about wine. The only kind of wine that I really have liked is probably considered lowbrow by connoisseurs, which is like a sparkling German white wine.
I enjoy some Manischewitz, man. I'm Juice Crew, man. Salute to salute to Jeffrey R, man. He coming through, man. He says, yeah, shout out to Jeffrey R, man. Wow. You know what? While we out here, man, we might as well go to Portland, man. Check out Portland, man. Portland, man. Shout out to Portland, man. Shout out to Portland, man. What's that one series they got on this channel? Expressions in Black or some shit? What was that shit? Here we go. This shit. Yeah, Expressions in Black, man. Expressions. Let's see the new Expressions in Black, man. Who's Expressions in Black, man? Shit. Oh man, these people are fucking crazy too, man. Let's see this month. Let me see this year. Do they have any do they have any of these things? These people are fucking nuts too, man. Let's see this. Let me just do her.
You're watching Expressions in Black on KGW. This is a sponsored presentation created by Heart and Hustle Production.
What I love most about being a woman is our flexibility. I've always felt that I could do anything. Before I knew it, I was doing everything. I'm a mother, farmer, philanthropist, lawyer. So it was important for me to make the right decisions and move in a professional way and trying to make this a better place for everyone. My name is Jacqueline Alexander, and this is Expressions in Black. So here on this property, I have 36.8 acres.
Yo, she's doing like. Now I know she's about to cry about racism any minute now, but god damn it, man, motherfucker, you're doing great, man. Salute, man. You should be happy, right? You about to tell us how great America is, right? You about to tell us how great it is here, man. Salute to Will Pine. He says, up to the challenge from Toronto, a place where the violence is always sunny. I'm gonna drop a video on Toronto real soon. We did Toronto last week on Rumble, man. Toronto is off the chain.
So here on this property, I have 36.8 acres. I just rounded up to 40. I've always felt like more Black people should be involved in farming because it's our legacy. We have lost so much.
Well, actually, when the white man showed up in Africa, there were some tribes that had good farming techniques, but overall, the farming techniques were very inefficient, and they didn't make use of all of their arable land. But I guess you want to say, I mean, everybody, by that logic, every person who comes from a race, that race at one point was agricultural based. So like everybody could say that.
So here on this property, I have 36.8 acres. I just rounded up to 40. I've always felt like more Black people should be involved in farming because it's our legacy. We have lost so much land as Black people. In the 20s, there were, I think it's 1.1 million Black farmers. Fast forward, today there's 46,000. My vision is for young people to understand that this is an option and it's how we build generational wealth. We need to own the land. Everyone, welcome to Morale Orchards. And since today is Indigenous Peoples Day, I thought it'd be important for us to respect the ancestors here on this land before us that we're just the stewards of, right?
Absolutely. To honor the memory and give gratitude
For the African chieftains that saved us from a life in the fucking bush by selling us to white slavers and sending us over to the new world so we can have a better life. Cell phones and VCRs and shit. Because if that would have never happened, we'd all be fucking running around the jungle and shit with a bone through our nose.
to our Native American brothers and sisters whose tears water the soil.
Who own slaves at a higher clip than fucking white people.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing.
And freed their slaves fucking decades later than white people did.
They like the 20 slaves.
Originally, the vision was for me, I thought this land is beautiful. I want to build a house here. I wasn't even thinking about being a grower at that time because I was in law school. I chose law school to help myself. You know, it's helped me with my business and understand, you know, what the opportunities were.
I first met Jackie as a law professor. She was in my class her very first semester in law school. From day one, she knew what she wanted. She knew she needed an educational background to get there. And she's been an agent for change.
I first met you at the MLK lecture, and you and your husband, of course, were sponsoring that.
Your husband, I'd love to see her husband. Press one if you'd love to see her husband.
That lecture series. It wasn't until a little bit later that I heard about your role in making the York statue possible.
For me, it was just getting York's story out. He was the first Black man to be in a military expedition to vote because he was voting to make these decisions. So it was very important for me to have his presence here on this campus. I think Black history is precious. It's something that drives me, and I want it to be a part of that. This is ebony from January of 1967. I actually got it off of eBay for my husband because his family's featured in this magazine. They actually worked on the orchard that we own now. That's Papa.
Okay, he might be a son, man.
And that's his dog, King.
I know my parents have both sacrificed a lot for me and my sister to live the life that we live. But looking back to see...
I don't know, man. He might... What y'all think, man?
This is annoying.
These are some rich motherfuckers.
Yeah, I'm not even convinced she's that good of a farmer because you've been doing all that stuff. You're gonna be lacking somewhere because farming is not something you do in conjunction with being a lawyer and an entrepreneur. Hold on, nah, it's something that
when somebody's doing the land, it's just like fucking Fergie, the fucking girl from fucking Black Eyed Peas. She's got a fucking orchard fucking like 10 times the size of this woman's orchard. And she's always on the road performing. Like, you don't need to fucking be there like tilling the soil, man.
No, I'm saying is I understand if you can say you're a landowner, but if you're saying you're out there farming, you're really not dedicating much time to anything else because that's a round the clock. That's more like a round the clock. I mean, or you have a lot of hired hands, you know. But she's making it seem like that's like she's doing all of it. Like you're not doing all of it.
Yeah, I'm sure she's not.
What I came from, it's a very eye-opening experience.
I'm convinced her husband's a white man, man. The way her son talk, man, he got glider blood in him. Man. We don't talk like that, man.
On the orchard that we own now. That's Papa, and that's his dog, King.
I know my parents have both sacrificed a lot for me and my sister to live the life that we live. But looking back to see what I came from, it's a very eye-opening experience.
Once you have children, you feel like I've got to move them through this path of life. That's when I started thinking about legacies and what was I going to
gloves, man? They just putting the shit in there with their bare hands.
Once you have children,
this is the one and only
feel
time
like I've
they've
got
ever
to
done
move
this.
them through this
Right,
path.
exactly.
It's like a drug lab.
That's when I started thinking about legacies and what was I going to do for them and what was I going to leave behind. Know Your Fruit came about to deal with the issue of food waste.
There's this huge food waste issue, right? Like we have people that are hungry, but yet we are a society that will throw away perfectly edible fruit.
What happens in this community, there's a lot of waste in what's called
Yeah, that crackhead that begging for money, you don't want a fucking apple, man. I can tell you that much.
And so I thought, you know what, I could actually buy coal from all these growers and freeze dry it. This facility was just raw land when I purchased it.
Yo,
so yeah,
this
I came out.
chick is fucking living the American dream, man. You see that shit?
She was like she's getting ready to go to space, man.
You know, she eat good.
Yo, she's living the dream. Her life is great. This is a great American success story, man.
And so I thought, you know what, I could actually buy coal from all these growers and freeze dry it. This facility was just raw land when I purchased it. So yeah, I came out here and decided to be a contractor, took on this project, and it was hard, but I was able to pull it through.
Who believes she was driving the tractor, man?
That's not
Who believes that? Who believes that, man?
Probably for that photo shoot, but that's
took on this project, and it was hard.
That bitch act like she doing something.
She drives a tractor too, man. On top of that, man, god damn.
But I was able to pull it through. The square footage is 36,000 square feet. We'll be up and running by the summer of next year. I wanted to create a product that was traceable, and you could actually see where the fruit was grown, and you know your fruit.
We stand here now seeing something that was once an idea, and it's just a joy to be able to support another African-American woman who not only dares to dream, but dares to undergo whatever she has to go through in order to make that dream a reality.
There's a lot of different professions related to the food industry. And I want trained people in this industry to know that there's more to just being a grower or a farmer. And I feel like this is the right time to do something that's meaningful.
Yo, she's winning, man.
Yeah, but they left an important part. What is she going to be selling?
Wine.
Wine, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is like a minority government funded program. That's all it is.
What do you mean minority government funded?
They give you the loans to go ahead and do that, and then you get the contracting based on minorities and things of that nature. It's just a business.
She didn't say nothing about no loans. I'm sure she may have gotten something, but that sister was doing that thing, man. I mean, shit. I mean, I didn't see anything about anybody giving her anything. I don't know. It wasn't, but who knows? Maybe.
Expressions in Black on KGW is a sponsored presentation from Heart and Hustle Productions.
All my life, I've always looked to be inspired and to inspire others. That's a privilege for me. That's who I am. I think that's something that I learned early on from my family around me and the community that raised me. I think as a Black man, I've always been super aware that examples are extremely important. I have to play my part, and I have to help us move forward as a community every day. I've always respected where I come from, where I'm at.
Well, if you respected where you come from, man, how come you got a white wife?
Really important. I have to play my part, and I have to help us move forward as a community every day. I've always respected.
I have to play my part, and I always have to help us as a community move forward. Well, why you feed us all that? It's unnecessary. You don't have to do that. Just talk about how great of a business you have and how all this community shit, man. You done fucking married some fucking. She ain't even no frizzy haired fucking goddamn Blakistan, man. You got a goddamn Meredith. You got a Kirsten, man. You ain't even Blakistan, man. Come on, man. You hiding, man. You hiding from the community, man.
Yeah, he capping.
Why he say it's not necessary? You don't have to say all of that shit.
How do you do all that by selling sneakers?
Well, sneakers are a big deal to the son, man, but it's like, yeah, I just don't know how. I don't know, but it's just bizarre.
That's just shocking and that's just like the shit they write on the back of a cereal box to make you think it's more than cereal.
I was expecting him to show up with fucking Grace Jones or some shit, or fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is your wife after talking all that shit.
Ayok, PN in the chat said, update, her company filed for bankruptcy in 2022.
Oh shit!
See, like I told you, said you doing all that stuff. You're gonna be something's gonna take a hit. You're gonna take a hit somewhere. You're gonna be messing up somewhere. Doing
It was too good to be true. She overextended herself.
All my life, I've always looked to be inspired and to inspire others. That's a privilege for me. That's who I am. I think that's something that I learned early on from my family around me and the community that raised me. I think as a Black man, I've always been super aware that examples are extremely important. I have to play my part, and I have to help us move forward as a community every day. I've always respected where I come from, where I'm at, and I've always been aware of where I want to go.
Yeah, you want to go to fucking Glider Town. That's where you want to go.
If I can't express who I am, if I can't stand up for what I believe in, I'm doing a disservice to the community. My name is
Fabian.
Yeah.
Tell me what you think about this. The best thing a Black man can do, if he's wealthy and he has upward mobility, the best thing he can do for the community is to find a Black woman, have a bunch of Black kids, and raise those kids in the affluence or in the luxury that he's created for himself. What do you think about that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't think he really cares all that much. I mean, he's doing well, so he can say whatever he wants to make it sound like he's, doing something good.
Yeah, but it's like all that talk doesn't, like, if you really wanted to better the Black community, you would go to fucking Harlem or fucking Memphis, find a nice Black community, build a house there, bring your goddamn fucking 4C Black wife there with your little nappy-headed kids and fucking live the grand old good life with them. And you know what I'm saying, in a fucking black community or some shit. This motherfucker, what the fuck?
I don't think he's really thinking that much about it. I don't think he cares as much as he's
talking about it.
It's like the kind of shit that you put on a resume. You know, you use flowery language to make it seem more important than what it was. Like, I'm helping the community. I'm pushing us forward. How? Exactly how? Specifically. It doesn't mean shit.
Especially in that last one where it focused so much on her being a black woman doing all this stuff. Like, what? How's that going to relate to me as a black man?
It does. It's just mesmerism. It's supposed to put you to sleep and mesmerize you into, because it resonates with just like standard lore of contemporary society. You're not supposed to think critically about it.
I just always loved to draw. Always loved to create beautiful things. My mother played a really iconic role in my life. She raised me in a community center in the East.
His mother, is that his mother? Oh.
Mother played a really iconic role in my life. She raised.
Oh, he's biracial too. Who were those black people he was posing with earlier? It didn't seem like he had a. What the fuck?
Yeah, his mom's biracial.
That woman looks white.
Yeah, in that picture, she does look pretty white.
Yeah, I think it's the saturation on the picture, but she's light-skinned at least.
Raised me in a community center in the East End of Louisville, Kentucky. And so through that, I was always exposed to sports.
This is his mom. Well, this is
Yeah,
his
who's
mom.
on the? We don't know.
I don't know.
The lady in the
Art
yellow doesn't look
and
like
purpose.
the lady in the previous photograph.
Yeah.
When I was looking back at a lot of this work, this didn't just happen, like it was building for a while. Nobody was talking about purpose work, and now it's what's fueling the brand. I think purpose storytelling for me is a relationship. It's a relationship with communities. It's not a transaction. When I got to Nike, I began that relationship here in Portland through mentorship that turned into a program that we started around Black History Month. Back in 2011, we really wanted to elevate the voice of our Black athletes so their stories could be told.
Yeah, because black athletes don't have no voice. The fuck is he talking about?
It's just jazz, man.
And it
It's
was
just
a
advertising.
program
It's just
based
like
on
saying
mentorship.
Pepsi is the choice of the new generation, man. It's just long form advertising shit.
For high school students, this young generation's language of answering their call to greatness with design. Black History Month then turned into some of the other purpose programs that we now have today, whether it be equality. Equality has no boundaries until we all win, whether it be you can't stop sport. This is a message that is saying, hey, you know what? We're a sport community that's going to influence and change the world. It really started a movement with LeBron and Serena and Kevin Durant and Megan Rapinoe and all these different impactful athletes.
Blacks and weirdos.
Activism.
Standing side by side, telling the world that equality should have no boundaries, that we should all have equal playing fields. It's a privilege for me to be able to be a part of that conversation. Elle, come here. You're too close to the camera, babe.
Hi, my name is Elle. This is Daddy, and this is my sister Coco.
There's not a suit that I put on.
They are some cute kids, though.
Yeah.
When I wake up and go to work that I change.
Hey, this is Daddy.
When I come home. It's the same suit.
Get that time!
Oh my God, 2 of them. Whew. Y'all don't know how. One of them is a handful. 2 of them. Whew.
I come home. It's the same suit.
Get that time!
At the end of the day, this is what matters. This is the legacy. This is why it's important to be an example. Life for me is about legacy. We can't choose how long we're going to be on Earth. But the time we're here, like, we can choose what we do with it. Working from home has been an amazing time to just be able to be in a space with family. You can reflect on who I am, where I've came from, where I am right now, and where I want to go. You know, literally this space that I've been working in for over a year now has been my creative playground. Actually feeds who I am. You know, when you talk about being creative, when you talk about being an example, we should absolutely bring that to work with us. When I look around and I see stories from my ancestors, artifacts from my mom, seeing these objects of past, present, and future chasers, people that are creating greatness, it just reminds me of why I'm here. You know, it reminds me of my responsibility and the example that I have to continue to put forth. You know, for me, with 2 young daughters, I see infinite possibilities. And I see this idea of the future and what it could be. If anything I took away from 2020 is that let's keep doubling down on the inspiration, because inspiration is what is going to take us to 2021, 2022, and beyond.
Oh, God. They got so full of shit.
Oh my, yeah, that shit is a fucking shit show.
That nigga's
I mean,
capping on his ass.
Yeah. I mean, to top it all off, too, you could see in like his expression and his daughter's. I work with small children, and those kids are fucking hellions. They run that show, and he just grovels after him all the time, man. That's a whole other dimension to that shit, and it's a rich kid thing too.
Yeah. Salute to Will Pine. Will Pine says all this has been done by gliders 1,000 times. So that we're supposed to be in awe that sons do it too. I don't get it. Yeah, man, we you gotta give us credit for doing regular shit. I take care of my kids, man. Salute to Nate Ways, man. He says expressions in black outlined in white.
Why Megan rapping though? Why not Eli Manning? Or
That
Larry
guy
Bird?
was a fucking
He's not a
jigaboo.
weirdo. He's not a weirdo. What's up? What's up, Lil Mingo?
Dude.
You not impressed with that guy, man? You weren't impressed with that guy?
No, I wasn't impressed with that fucking jigaboo. I seen right through that guy's act. He's a fucking fraud.
You're watching Expressions in Black on KGW. This is a sponsored presentation created by Heart and Hustle Productions.
I remember the first time I came in the studio, I was 11. You know, now I do this for a living. So my perspective was that I didn't care what nobody else thought. And imagine how many people told me, hey man, you still doing that? Hell yeah, I'm still doing this. Expressing myself has always been about freedom. Being able to tell any story that I want to tell.
Yeah, youngin' came up strong with a will to live. Daddy never came home, mama in the pen.
So it's relative, got him for the devil did. I was a kid that always said, what if? We poor, bro, but what if we could do this?
Like deja vu, I see it all the time.
For me, I was blessed to be around people that really did music and made a living.
If you don't understand the feeling to see what it's like.
So I seen the business side. There is actually a way that you can feed your family, create some ownership through your voice.
It's like deja vu.
I had.
Hey, y'all.
What's up, brown sugar? Hold on, let me see something.
There is actually a way that you can feed your.
Is that a sister, brown sugar?
No. Maybe she's biracial.
And this expression in black shit is just weird, man.
Yeah,
like,
maybe she's like Spanish or something.
Yeah, the kids got like good hair.
None of these people got black counterparts.
I fucking
The
hate
woman,
these
these 2 men, all of them were white people.
It's just bizarre, man.
I hate these motherfuckers so much, though.
And then the 2 black men, one rapping, one doing shoes. Wow. That's like so important. I mean, at least the son sister, she doing apples. That's stupid. This shit's stupid too. All of them stupid.
Let's see a fucking electrician.
Yeah, I mean, like, here's the thing though. You don't have to do all the blackity black shit. Like, trust me, I live my life. I'm around people all the time. You don't have to like, I'm blackity black, blackity black, blackity black. And then you, on top of that, you're like, literally your whole life is like everything other than that. It's just fucking weird, man.
Well, they don't. You're not the target audience for that. Rich Sun people and gliders are the target audience for that. In order to
gliders.
because Sun people being rich and successful goes against what you're supposed to think they deal with. It's supposed to be like all Sun people are extremely intelligent and capable and visionary and inspired, but there's just these gliders and overalls sitting behind the bushes everywhere, jumping out and shooting at them, so they can't do shit. So when they make it and they're rich and they're golfing and they're wearing expensive clothes and the big house and all that bullshit, they have to tell a story about, they have to put a big old smoke screen of blackity black in order to try to make it make sense. So that you're not focused. So in other words, like, they don't just get up and say like, yeah, I got a degree or did what I did and I made a bunch of money, period, end of story. No, they have to add a whole bunch of,
they gotta have a sad sob story, because as you know, even though I grew up in Memphis, I got a lot of flack from black people. Like, you don't understand. You grew up in a 2-parent home. Your father was there, and I'm like, okay, so my mama did the right thing. What's big whoop? Like, so what?
Bro, sugar,
I'm still a human being. I still have feelings. I'm still dealing with life. Just because I grew up in a 2-parent home and my dad made money and my mom was a stay-at-home mom, I still went to a hood ass school.
Some people give you flack for anything. I grew up with my grandparents. They gave me flack for growing up with my grandparents. Some people don't give a damn.
It paid off because you know, yeah, I went to a hood school, but I had morals because my father was there. My dad made sure, you know, he instilled like a lot of values in me. You know, he the one raised me to vote Republican. He told me never vote Democrat. He was already ahead of it.
Shout out to Papa Sugar, man.
Yeah, he never voted. My dad never voted Democrat. Like, he see right through them.
That's a great man. He's ahead of his time.
Shout out to Papa Sugar, man. Let's see this one more, but then we're gonna go to Rumble, man. Make sure you take the $5 challenge, support the channel. Hey. We back from suspension, man. Go ahead.
Hey, you back on YouTube?
Yeah, I'm going to Rumble in a minute though.
I'm on Rumble right now.
Okay,
I'm still on Rumble.
Yeah, because I gotta do France. I ain't doing France over here. I just got back, man. I'm trying to tread lightly, man.
Expressions in Black on KGW is a sponsored presentation from Heart and Hustle Productions.
Like, even that heart and hustle, it's like struggle. Like, you got heart and hustle. Like, you know, you got
heart and hustle for some damn lame rap music that don't nobody want to listen to but gliders, and some ugly ass shoes that ain't nobody gonna wear but some gliders. Cause his people ain't gonna support him. And we don't eat apples. Man, she had like a sweet potato farm, or maybe some greens or something like that. That her business been booming.
The most powerful word in the English language is black.
Oh God!
I don't want to see this nigga white, man. He ain't no fucking.
He dropped it low right there. What is he doing?
I would brutalize this nigga, man. Look at this fucking
They should interview me for one of these segments.
Yo, man, look at this guy.
The most powerful word in the English language is black.
Oh, yeah. I fucking hate him.
It is both dark and light. but it means so many different things on an emotional capacity, on a spiritual capacity. It is so many different things, and we use it so many different times.
Yo.
I'm a dancer, I'm an artist, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm fluid and I identify with a lot of different things.
He's
Yeah, we can
fluid.
tell.
I know. Listen, I know he didn't grow up around some man. They would have beat the goofy out this nigga, man.
Oh yeah,
Instantly.
it's amazing. Like everything they say about gliders is false about gliders and true about them. Like look at the extent to which this dude is just the dripping self-importance, just centering yourself and self-celebration and the arrogance and the entitlement is disgusting, man.
I have yet to see a full black person with a full black family. Everybody got mixed race children, and he's biracial. And they just so black.
He would cross the street if he saw you coming, Brown Sugar.
Yeah, cause I got a hole, not a pole.
Yo, chill.
I'm House Waters, and this is my expression. Dance is my life, man. The first time I danced, honestly, I just remember being happy. It's how I express myself. I'm always growing, and this is really when I feel liberated.
Come on, it's
I know.
Be uncomfortable.
Yeah, bro. This is like torture, dude. You try to torture us.
He trying to
I
show
know,
his fucking
man. I know, man. These ones. I've done so many of these, man. Like this one right here. This was the all-time favorite. This was the.
I remember this one.
This was the favorite.
I remember that one. Didn't she do hair or something? She a damn witch.
She is a fucking witch. You right.
She is a witch. Look at her. Burning stage and shit. Crazy ass.
I've realized over time that for me, that morning is the most important to just be myself and be comfortable in my space.
She don't even got prognathism.
She
like, you know what I'm saying?
Look at her fucking lips.
Not racial.
Fucking lips.
Well, her lips, they're not plump or anything. Her nose not wide. Her baby hairs are laid.
Myself and be comfortable in my space. A lantern, the candles, it's just part of what I do, and I don't know how I started. When I could hear the birds or the rain or whatever, I wanted to be as present in that moment as possible. In order to do that, I didn't want to turn on my lights. I didn't want to let the rest of the world in yet.
What?
Having the opportunity to tell stories through clothing and something that people are rooted in just really transformed my life. The clothes that I love is something that is really meaningful to me.
Weird ass black
something
women.
that when I put it on, I can embody what that is. As a homage to like our hair and our culture is really, really important to me. And bringing it into this outdoor space, which is
So
something
she
new.
got good, silky, good hair. Like she got literally like 1A hair.
Yeah, her hair is pretty.
And she making bandanas for black women to cover this shit up.
Oh my god.
I do genuinely feel like I'm providing people with something that's really good for them.
Something that's really good for them.
Name is
That
Jocelyn
is a
Rice.
white lady.
Cover that shit up.
That is a white lady.
Rachel Dolezal got her beat on blackness.
I love to read history
I know, right?
of Black folks in the outdoors. One of the stories that I read that I love the most is the story of Joseph K. Bowler. He created this Jim Crow traveling kit. The stories of folks that you've never heard of still have to be told. It consisted of a pair of old mechanics coveralls, a little stove. He wasn't allowed in hotels and he would be sleeping out in the wilderness, so his connection is very different. There's so many great books and there's so many people that have already told stories. Why not tell them in this way?
So she's gonna tell the story of a Jim Crow traveling kit.
It might be Harriet Tubman's story or it might be Angela Exodus' story. It's kind of that connection to a story and ancestry and the outdoors.
He just creates bullshit.
The artificialness
Where the booty
of
shorts
the world
at?
has always kind of bothered me a little.
I'm saying like I'm a different type of black girl. I'm not that type of black girl. It's crazy, that weird. I would never hang out with
Almost
chicks like
nobody
that.
is.
They're so damn weird. I see black chicks like that, big ass nose ring, crazy ass hair, no weave in their head. Fuck wrong with y'all?
No, they be cool.
I don't want no man.
No, they be cool. They be getting a man. Them bitches be going, man. I'm an artist. So I be fucking with all type of bitches like that. I like those bitches.
They don't pull. They're not pulling the ones, Pookie and Ray Ray.
I'm pretty much a poogie, man. I done dealt with
They ain't
bitches like
pulling them.
that. I'm telling you, man.
They ain't pulling them rappers.
No, they ain't. Not shit. I was a rapper, SoundCloud rapper. I had a couple of them bitches. I'm telling you, man. Them
You
bitches
look
fun though.
lame if you pull them.
Them bitches fun. They ain't pulling no rich rappers, but them bitches are fun time.
Yeah, they fun. They have a good time. They not have a good time.
Yeah,
but they're annoying though, right? With this blacky black stuff, right?
Yeah. I had this one bitch, man. I was dealing with for some years. This bitch had a
Bitch or woman?
Huh?
Woman.
Bitch. That's the vernacular.
She's a bitch. I'm a son, man. She was a bitch. But yeah, that bitch had
Some men don't call women bitches. But go ahead.
Come on, Carl. Yeah, she had a fucking sticker that said Mike Brown can't vote, but I can. I said the nigga dead. Of course he can't vote, bitch. She was too woke for her own good, man. But yeah, them bitches be a fun time, man.
Yeah, they like to smoke weed and shit. Yeah, they always got some weed. I know that.
They gay.
Yeah, she was gay.
Yeah, I know she looked like a lesbian. This girl here.
Yeah. She probably with that shit.
She like a lesbian. Probably don't do nothing. Probably don't eat hot wings.
Of the world has always kind of bothered me a little bit. Like just walking outside and putting my feet in the grass, really bringing it back to the very, very basics.
She's definitely a glider.
It's just so incredibly peaceful, and it is.
I did it today.
In that moment, it's inside of all of us. But
I went hiking in the woods. We was the only black people there.
Oh wow.
Nothing but white people, and they were so nice. They were so nice to us. They was like smiling, and we sweating about to die.
Yeah, they wanted to make sure they overdo it. I've done that at Rock Creek Park in DC. I went hiking one time, and when you're in white spaces, untraditional, and you're like the only black person, white people go out of their way to let you know I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not like those Trump supporters. I'm really nice.
I'm a Trump supporter. Shit.
Yeah.
Brown sugar, you chocolate or you brown skin?
I'm like a caramel color. Yeah.
Give us an actress. Give us an actress of what you or a rapper.
Megan Good color, I guess.
Okay, so you
mahogany.
You light skin, man. You red bone, man.
I'm not. I'm brown. I'm just brown. Like
she mahogany. She mahogany. You cool. You
light
mahogany.
skin is this to me. She's light skinned to me.
That bro white.
This is white.
Yeah, I don't know.
Look
Y'all so silly.
She is white. But yeah, man, you cool. You mahogany. You cool.
What if I was burnt sugar?
Then I would love you even more. I like dark skin.
I'll get wrong for that too. I saw that damn clip.
Yeah.
And what made it so bad when you said black women are the worst stewards of children, and I said the men are equally. You agree with me, but he hop on a panel and attack only me. Anyway.
Hey man, look man.
Brown sugar.
I'm not going to talk about it.
I agree. Like some men and some women are both terrible, but I feel
the man killed the baby.
Oh no, we both terrible, but I feel as though you be taking up for like some women too much. Like we all terrible.
I'm some woman. Just because y'all sit there and let them call y'all slaves and the bottom of the earth and scum and shit. You sit there and allow it. I'm not about to sit here and just allow all the damn time. I mean, damn, speak up for your kind sometimes. You just sit there. Y'all need to go back to slavery. Y'all just ha ha ha.
No,
like,
but the thing is, brown sugar, like we are Like even though like people like me, you or Mozzie, like people like we can see through the veil, we got sense. But as an overall people, we are terrible. Like we are terrible. Like
Yeah, I agree.
bad.
Yes, and I'm gonna say this: living around a lot of white people, like when I say a lot, I mean a lot of white people. It's like, damn, I don't hope they don't think I'm a threat or I'm aggressive, because that's what they used to seeing on the media is she-boons acting crazy. And I'm like, I'm not a she-boon. I'm loving and kind. I just go crazy on a panel. But and in the real world, I'm like a sweet angel. Like
But
it's hard to make me angry.
but you know what? Like I'm cool too. Like I'm real peaceful too. I was just spend a lot of time like out Pittsburgh, Western PA, and it was nothing but gliders. I couldn't imagine living around gliders. Like y'all motherfuckers are weird. Like I'm cool with living in the hood. Like I'm like a paradox. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool around my people. I just wish niggas ain't act like niggas
What
24/7.
I miss living around black people, but I'm so
Yeah,
afraid to live around black people that it's like y'all niggas literally force me to go around nothing but white people.
yeah,
Like I had
yeah,
just to freaking know that a bullet and not gonna come through my damn wall and strike me in the fucking head while I'm asleep. Like I have to leave.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's
yeah.
It's
true.
crazy.
Yeah, you run a gambit around some man. Like in my hood, like you might hear shooting like twice every month or some shit like that. You run
I
that
was hearing
gambit.
it 3-4 times a day.
Oh
You
yeah,
not
oh,
in the
but
hood.
well, yeah. I'm in the good some man area. I like my neighborhood. It's like real diverse. We got
Well,
some
you
poor
don't know what
gliders
hood
around
is. I'm
here.
in Memphis. I was in Memphis and it was hood.
Oh yeah.
It was
But
hood.
yeah,
Speaking of hood, let's go to France, man. I'm gonna shut this down on YouTube. I'm gonna go to Rumble, man, and we're gonna do France for a bit and then get out of here, man. Everybody over to Rumble, man. If you don't know the link, man, link is in the description box. I'm gonna shut this YouTube down.
what was that fucking Sandman Nail that you was doing the other day?
Yeah, that's.
Oh my god. Where Fisher at, man? Bring him on the panel.
Let's see.
You did a story in Memphis about dude that dragged that cop. So people were saying that the cop hopped on top of the man's car.
So we
And
gotta stop.
you,
Let
well,
me stop it.
I won't hop on no nigga car in no Mustang.